electric.
Before it can change the world, it has to change yours. The all-electric Volkswagen ID4.
From had to buy every tool, Dan?
Honest question. Do you know what this does?
To making the most of his gym membership, Dan.
I'm here for moral support. You're doing great, Tammy.
The new City Custom Cash Card automatically adjusts to where your spending is trending.
The Roval is not your average racetrack, and this is not your average race. This is a hair-raising, gut-wrenching, twisting and turning, bumping and banging playoff race. This is hundreds of miles of wild racing through thousands of turns. This is a race to the checkered flag and a race to advance to the next round.
Truex gets hit by Johnson. We'll do it.
Will your driver make it? Be there to find out. The Bank of America Roval 400, Sunday, October 10th. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com.
This Halloween, we could all use a treat. The goblins, the grandpas, the robots, and the giant pancakes. Because this year, the best house on the block is the International House of Pancakes.
Every good driver knows you got to hear exactly what the engine is doing to time your shifts, your rev matches, your apex exits. That's who we build exhaust systems for.
3 roommates. 2 packs of Ben's Original Jasmine Rice. 1, 2, 3 social feeds. 3 real life.
Crafton, Todd.
We don't need another Crafton behind the wheel. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, hey, could be following in very good footsteps there with his champion dad. What about Todd Gilliland? He's eliminated from the playoffs, but always could be a spoiler, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. I had him in my top 4, and unfortunately didn't make it to this round, but a threat anytime he goes on the racetrack. 7 top 7 finishes in a row leading into the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely don't count out Todd Gilliland. He will be starting 8th for the race tonight. So we've been talking all about this race. What about the picks for the victory? It's time for us to do that, right, guys?
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
We're going to let you go first.
I get to go first.
Ladies
Well, this is
first.
unheard of because normally I'm always going last. Well, we talked about this driver a lot throughout the course of the show. I'm going to go with Stuart Friesen. I think Friesen can get it done out in Las Vegas, continue the top 5 streak, and potentially get a victory. Phil, what do you think?
Well, remember earlier I had 2 co-favorites, 2 chalks, but I just can't ignore the fact that KBM has won all 5 mile-and-a-halfs this year. John Hunter won there in the spring. So by the narrowest, can I have 2?
No, you can't
I can only have
2. That's
football
only...
Okay, then John Hunter Nemechek.
Good. What do you think, Todd?
I think Austin Hill has got an incredible record here at Las Vegas, and I think he's going to get it done again tonight with that Toyota Tundra.
Very good. These are 3 very solid picks, and I hope one of us at least is right by the time this is all said and done.
Not usually.
But who actually knows, right, guys? All right, we're getting closer and closer to racing out at Las Vegas, so it's time for us to go trackside for pre-race ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as Nellis Air Force Base Honor Guard presents our nation's colors. Please remain standing as MRO Chaplain Billy Malden offers tonight's invocation.
Father, as we pause once again to recognize your presence in our lives, Lord, we do so grateful for all the hard work of the staff and the team here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway to help make this event possible tonight. Father, as always, we remember the men and women of our armed forces and first responders serving us both here at home and abroad. We ask you to be with them, be with their families. Father, we pray for the drivers, teams, officials, all the fans, Lord. Bless us all with a great night, a fun night, a safe night of racing. May your peace be with us all. It's in your holy name we pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, here to present our national anthem, please welcome country music artist Sam Riddle.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart stars we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Las Vegas, Matt Crafton, he's ready. Where are the nerves at for these drivers, you think, right now, Phil?
I think they're on edge right now. And obviously, once they crank the engines, that'll get a little bit better. But remember, it's 93 degrees right now.
Yeah.
A lot cooler in the spring. Track's going to be hot and slick.
Way slicker. And it's a tough track here, Las Vegas.
It's going to be exciting, that is for sure. Race coverage, it starts now.
The sound of pressure.
Oh, and there's a big crash.
Sideways. Wow. The clock's counting down.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
And so are the opportunities to win big.
Sheldon Creed automatically into the second round of the playoffs. Chandler Smith to advance to the next round of the playoffs.
3 races stand. So, let's see who takes a gamble and who folds under pressure. Viva Las Vegas.
When you come to Las Vegas, you bring a dream. Some dreams come true, some leave you empty-handed. 8 playoff drivers arrive tonight with that dream in tow. A berth in the Championship 4 at stake for NASCAR's Camping World Truck Series. This is the Victoria's Voice Foundation 200, presented by Westgate. For John Hunter Nemechek, the dream of a championship has looked like reality in motion. It's been a dominating season, which includes a Vegas win here back in March. But now he finds himself in a season-long 5-race drought. Is Nemechek any less of a favorite? Last year's championship runner-up Zane Smith believed this could be the year he wears the crown, but it hasn't gone as planned, and he narrowly escaped first-round elimination. The 22-year-old from California hopes a swing west will jumpstart his championship hopes. 19-year-old Chandler Smith faced a first-round exit until he scored a walk-off win to end round 1. Can this teenager double down with another score tonight and thrust himself into the conversation as a championship favorite? When the playoffs began, Stuart Friesen was viewed by many as a middle-of-the-pack favorite. But the 2-time series winner cruised through round 1 with the best average finish. Friesen has yet to win this season, but getting hot at the right time just may deliver the jackpot at the end. Oh, what a beautiful night. So much at stake for the playoff drivers. And here with the stories of the other 4 with title hopes are pit reporters Jamie Howe and Jamie Little. And we'll begin with Jamie Little.
Well, Vince, yes, 2 more of those drivers who made the round of 8. They're on opposite ends of the spectrum. First up, 18-year-old Carson Hocevar. He told me earlier today he's dealing with the pressure of his first playoffs by keeping it light, by dancing. He even jigged on our pre-race show earlier today. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, you've got 45-year-old 3-time champion Matt Crafton. He knows how to deal with pressure. Now, tonight, he's trying to keep that consistency alive, trying to do something he's never done before, and that is win right here in Las Vegas. He's 0 for 24. Jamie Howe.
2 more drivers remain in the round of 8, Jamie, including our defending champion in the number 2. That is Sheldon Creed. And as this past week after Bristol has gone on, he has become more and more frustrated. He won the first 2 stages. He led the most laps, but contact took him out of contention at the front. And because of that, they don't have the pit stall they want, and he has to line up in 9th. He says that a win tonight is so important, they will give up the stage points in order to be in a better position for the overall win at the end of the race. On the flip side of that, Ben Rhodes in the number 99, he believes that stage points are everything. And in his mind, you have to go for all of them. He believes that the start of this race is going to be dusty. It's going to be difficult to manage. But as the sun continues to set, the setup will come to them and they'll be good to race, Vince.
A little bit of a gamble for Rhodes and Company. As we begin this round of 8, here's a look at the playoff standings and where they sit points-wise, and it is real tight around that bubble. This is the first of 3 races in this round. One of these drivers would happen to win tonight. They'll clinch a spot in the Championship 4 in early November in Phoenix. Great to have you with us. Vince Welch along with Kurt Busch, a Las Vegas native, former Vegas winner, and of course our pal Michael Waltrip. And guys, it's a big night tonight. Kurt, this is the first race in this round. It's 3 races in the round, so why is this one so important?
Because if you win tonight, you're into the championship round. So all these guys, all the chips are out on the table, and they're going all in to win this because you really don't want to mess with Talladega and Martinsville. Those are such big wild cards. They're like joker cards. So watch out for those 2. But tonight, if you get the win in, you're done. You're easy. You're on easy street, right to victory lane to Phoenix, right?
Yeah, and you look at a guy like Stuart Friesen. He was 3rd place average in the first round. What'd that get him? He's last of our playoff drivers. He's outside of the cut. So what does he do? He's got to go out and win. NASCAR's got it right. What it's all about in the playoffs is win, baby. Just win like in Vegas. That's what you got to get done.
Well, we certainly look forward to it. It's going to be a great one tonight. And to get those engines fired up, let's go trackside.
Here to give the command to start engines for tonight's race, representing Victoria's Voice Foundation and Westgate Resorts, please welcome Jackie Siegel.
Drivers, start your engines. Woo!
Love the sound of those engines fired. 8 playoff drivers and a field of others all got something on the line tonight when we roll them at Vegas.
The best things America makes are the things America makes out here. The history she writes in her clear blue skies. The legends she births on hometown fields, and the future she promises. When we made Grand Wagoneer, proudly assembled in America, we knew no object would ever rank with the best things in this country. But we believed we could make something worthy of their spirit. Wow, that's a low price.
That's a low price.
The speed, where a town turns into a city, and a weekend becomes a lifetime of memories. It's a tradition like no other, at a track like no other. And after it's all over, you still won't believe it ever happened.
Man, that was wild.
NASCAR at Talladega, October 2nd through the 3rd. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
If you're over 50, imagine you could turn back the clock on your stiff, achy joints 10, even 20 years. Imagine you could do this without products that just
Creed is going to survive and win at Worldwide Technology. We are green at Darlington. Creed is on a remarkable streak. A second win for Creed is in the books. What a place to get your first career win. It's Bristol, baby, for Chandler Smith. What a beautiful evening. Not a cloud in the sky. Temperature still in the low 90s as the trucks roll off here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And we're all ready to go. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series and the track description. Michael Waltrip.
Yeah, presented by Camping World. Let's look at this 1.5 mile racetrack. The variable banking in the corners is what makes it so interesting to me, Kurt. You go down low, there's less banking. That means there's more speed up high, but it's further around. So these drivers have a lot of decisions to make. 1.5 miles in length, like I mentioned. What a great racetrack. Very racy. As that sun sets, too, it's just going to get even racier. 134 laps, 200 miles. We're going to go 30-30 on our stages. And look at the pit window. 50 to 55 laps. That means strategy could fall into play around the stage breaks. Do you get those points or do you get track position? Austin Hill won this race a year ago.
Let's take a look at tonight's Victoria's Voice Foundation 200, presented by Westgate Resorts. Starting grid, led by John Hunter Nemechek.
Yeah, what I love about the starting lineup is you have the matrix from last week's finish with the points, and you got your playoff guys up front. And then Gilliland's mixed in there. with the Owners' Championship still alive for those guys.
And we talked about Sheldon Creed starting back in the 9th position. I don't think he's seen 8 trucks ahead of him in a couple of months, Vince. It's got to be really stressful for that team.
It does indeed. As you look at Austin Wayne Self, Ryan Truex, Christian Eckes has had some good runs here in Las Vegas.
A couple of top 10 finishes. Haley Deegan strong all year long. Can she put together another top 10 run? Jack Wood in the 24 truck just announced he's going to go full-time racing in the Truck Series in 2022.
Hey, good to see former champ Brett Moffitt back in the series, running the 25 truck tonight.
Moffitt's always fun to watch. Talked to him earlier, Vince. He's won in that truck he's driving tonight 2 times. Does that mean Moffitt's one of our favorites? We haven't really talked about that yet.
I like that. So you got some of the guys in the back and the girls back there, Holmes and Lupton. What I'm looking forward to is the challenge of this track on how it's been sitting there all summer long. No practice, no qualifying, and they're going to all jump out there and hit that grease in 3 and 4. It's going to be slick. It's going to be awesome to watch.
That's what we like, right? We don't see it be difficult on them. Let's hit back downstairs and check in on pit road again. We'll begin with Jamie Howe in the Camping World Driver Profile.
Well, Vince, the driver we're taking a look at tonight is Jack Wood. He's at 21 years old now, making his 9th career start, and he's already announced a full season program in 2022 with his GMS team. Through his first 8 races, he learned that if he isn't aggressive enough, he gets taken advantage of. So managing the risk to take advantage of the situations on the track is what he is working on tonight in his first race here at Las Vegas. Jamie Little.
Well, Jamie, with the playoffs comes emotion, some for celebration and some with heartbreak. And last week, it was Todd Gilliland who was left heartbroken after Bristol. He missed the cutoff by just 2 points. He told me earlier today now his focus is capitalizing on these last 4 races. He feels like this race team has come a long way since the start of this year, and another win is certainly possible. Maybe even tonight, where he smiled and said it's going to be hot and slick, and that means it'll be fun. Vince?
That's for sure. And you mentioned 2 points costing Todd Gilliland. Austin Hill missed by just 8 points in advancing. He had accidents in 2 of the 3 races in round 1. But don't count out Hill tonight. He has won this race 2 of the last 3 years, or has won at Vegas, I should say, 2 of the last 3, and was 3rd in the other one. So Austin Hill and Todd Gilliland may not be running for the championship any longer, but don't count them out in running for the win here tonight. Take a look at our onboard cameras, Mike.
Oh, man, I love our onboards. We got the 360 cam with Sheldon Creed. You can see Sheldon looks very relaxed, starting back in the 9th position. We're going to have all kinds of views outside of his truck. And then we're going to hop on with Stuart Friesen and look on his helmet. Kurt, you know how much I love the helmet cam. We're going to get a great view of what action at Vegas is like. How much does that feel like you're sitting in that truck, bud?
I love it. I'm jumped in right there, ready to go. And you have the visor cam. You have a little bit of a glare down the front straightaway early in the race, but that is right there in the mix. Everybody's going to feel the speed from that.
Wow. I just love that. That's perfect. Our Fox team does such a great job of bringing the viewers at home all the angles, all the different views that you could hope for. Stuart Friesen starting right up front with that visor cam.
This is the final race on the 1.5 mile tracks this season, the 6th of 6, and it's been kind of a KBM party. They have won all 5, and like in the Vegas theme, this would be a full house. John Hunter Nemechek with 3, Kyle Busch with 2, but KBM has won all 5 on the 1.5 mile this season.
I see what you did there. I like the full house look, but what's amazing is that there's just this 1.5 miles right now to make the big jump towards the championship. So everybody always talks about the 1.5 miles. There's just this one little one right here.
Let me ask you this, Kurt. Do you think that dominance of KBM continues here at Vegas tonight? Does John Hunter Nemechek go to victory lane? Chandler Smith get another win? Or do one of these other teams say, not so fast? We've seen a lot of speed out of GMS lately. Who wins tonight, Kurt?
To me, it's all about what has happened with the trends in the past. And that is, who's won the 1.5 miles? KBM. Why? Because there's been no practice, no qualifying, and it's just what you have as a trend to get you to this point. So John Hunter Nemechek, he's my pick tonight. I think, though, that the way that the Creed has been just so dominant through the playoffs, it's wide open. And then I want more out of Chandler Smith after what we saw him do last week.
That was awesome. And I'm going to take Zane Smith as my pick. I got the other Smith guy.
On the inside of row 2 in this starting lineup, as you look at the 52 of Stuart Friesen, little radio team communication.
Boys, thanks for everything. Another beautiful truck. Yes, sir. Have fun tonight. Everybody pull the same road. Okay. We'll get through this thing no matter what. Be in a good spot. Come Talladega. Yeah, 10-4.
Michael mentioned it earlier. In round 1, no one had a better average finish than Stuart Friesen. Look at that. In the regular season, he had an average finish of 17th. In the playoffs, 3.7. That's pretty. He had a pretty good first round, Michael.
He had a great first round, and this is the same truck that he drove to a top 5 finish at Darlington that he's driving tonight. But Vince, I talked earlier. What did all those great average finishes get him?
Last. He's last of the 8.
We're in Vegas. Just win, baby.
That's how competitive this is. That's what it's all about, man.
Well, if one of these playoff drivers win tonight, boy, that's the golden ticket. That gets them to Phoenix and a spot in the championship race on November 5th. But we've got some work to do here. 134 laps in Las Vegas, and we are green with John Hunter Nemechek leading the way on the outside.
See how he cuts over to the inside road. Let's see how dusty and dirty this place races early on.
Zane Smith on the outside with Matt Crafton right behind him. That's Todd Gilliland in the middle, 3 wide.
When you go down into turn 1, Vince, you just hope the end that doesn't stick is the front end. That back end gets around on you, it's trouble. These guys all did a nice job navigating turns 1 and 2 here on this dirty racetrack.
Wow, it's way cleaner than I expected. That's going to provide traction, grip, and that's going to create this draft. Look at these guys already everywhere. 5 lanes across down the front straightaway.
This track always is a little dustier because it's out in the desert. So with the breeze that blows through, you always get a little bit of dust, but we've seen it a lot worse than we've seen it here in the early laps tonight. Look at Gilliland in that 38 right on the bumper of the 18 of Smith. Now Smith goes to the bottom. Stuart Friesen right there in that red and blue 52.
That was a great picture there, Kurt, of the draft. How important it is if you can get somebody on your back tailgate to push you through. Again, Friesen right to the back of Gilliland. They make some ground on Smith there. So you're constantly trying to look ahead and see if you can use the draft to your advantage.
Love that visor cam. It shows you how rough turns 1 and 2 are. And then the way the draft works, like you're saying, Mikey, it's all about keeping that momentum up on the high side on these restarts. And that will spool you up towards the momentum as far as the high side.
This is the second time they've raced here at Las Vegas this season. Ran here back on March 5th. John Hunter Nemechek won it, but about 15 or so degrees warmer tonight. How does that affect the track that these guys are dealing with?
And Kurt, you talked about how rough that corner is, and that's perfect picture from Stuart Friesen. He's got a really fast truck. He's all over Gilliland. But I'm going to ask you, 15 degrees, that's hot if you're playing golf. What is it like as a race car driver to go out on one of these asphalt tracks that's been baking in the sun all day? What's it like? How much different is it?
It's a tough task. I mean, the way that 15 degrees might not sound big, it is a ton of grip. And when you're out, we got to spin off 4.
45 gone around, and that's Chris Hacker, who is making just his second career start.
Wow, he's had pretty hard contact with the outside wall.
21-year-old from Noblesville, Indiana. Made his debut a few weeks ago at Gateway.
No, I was saying like the way the grip level changes with 15. He's on the inside. Somebody's to his outside. Probably took the air off.
That's when you're just hoping it just slides enough to keep it from getting in the outside wall. But unfortunately, Chris went around and made contact. That might not end his night, but it'll certainly put a dent in it.
Caution early at Las Vegas.
RV ready to go? Water. We waiting for? Oopsie doopsie. It's the battery.
Hey, folks. Uh-oh. Open hood, never good.
We brought some oranges because we are out of juice.
Let's get you back on the road. Good Sam Roadside Assistance covers all your vehicles. And just like that battery, your jump start is free of charge.
What?
Make every trip a good trip. Good Sam. Everything you need to have a good trip.
Jake from State Farm.
What's good?
Yo, Patrick? Nah, fam. Just your typical sneakerhead working here for the employee discount. But speaking of deals, I heard regular guys like me are getting the Patrick price. That can't be real.
Crisis can happen unexpectedly to anyone. And though it may seem like a small barrier, a simple lock puts space between the thought and the trigger. Learn how securing your guns can help prevent suicide.
Why not? Why? L'eau de parfum. Yves Saint Laurent.
And you won't stink. Official partner of MLB and NASCAR.
Sorry, I just locked in a great refinancing rate for my student loans with Credible.com.
Woo! I'm the credible. It's either credible or it's not.
Why do nearly 1 million businesses choose Stamps.com to mail and ship? No more trips to the post office. No more paying full price for postage. And great rates from USPS and UPS. Mail letters. Ship packages. Anytime, anywhere. For less. A lot less. Get our special TV offer. A 4-week trial plus postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com/try and never go to the post office again.
Have you missed a beat of the show critics are raving about?
There's this dance reality show. I'm going to audition.
The 4 new episodes Mondays. Watch it anytime and get hooked.
Life is about coming back from a punch. You gotta keep getting up.
Those people are going to have their lives turned upside down.
That looked awesome, you guys.
I know, right?
The Big Leap. Mondays on Fox. Or watch anytime on Fox Now or Hulu.
Sunday, it's a huge doubleheader on Fox. First, the Bears take on Baker Mayfield and the Browns. And then in America's Game of the Week, Tom Brady leads the Bucs against Matthew Stafford and the Rams. It all kicks off Sunday on Fox and Fox Sports app. Check the local listings for the game in your area. And how about Tyler Heineke against Josh Allen? Sunday, 1 o'clock on Fox. The Washington football team against the Bills. Which one of those guys are you going to take on your fantasy this week, Kurt?
I think Josh Allen. What do you think, Kurt?
I like Jay Allen. He's the highest paid player in the NFL.
No kidding.
Yes, sir.
What about our Panthers? 3-0.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right.
Undefeated.
Carolina.
Choose zone. Drivers selecting the top lane or the bottom for this restart after Chris Hacker brought out the caution.
The choose zone is a lot like pulling up to a red light, Vince, and you try to pick which lane's going to go first. You know, maybe there's 3 or 4 cars on the right. One of them's a big tractor trailer. You're like, I'm going to the left.
I hope they have better luck at it than I do.
That's an easy decision there.
Yeah, but you got to understand, it's a bit of a gamble. Whichever way you go, it might not work. And these guys certainly, if you're on the front row, the engineers, the history tells you which lane to pick. And that's why John Hunter went to the top. And then Todd Gilliland decided that looked pretty good to me. And these guys make the decision based on engineering up front. But then once you drop back a few rows, then it's a bit of a gamble here in Vegas.
It always shows that you want to lean towards the high side as far as the stats. But I like what I've seen so far with Gilliland. He picked up, 6-7 spots from the beginning start. And now he's to the inside. He's going to put the pressure on Nemechek here going down into 1.
Of course, we talked earlier about him being eliminated last week at Bristol, heartbroken by just 2 points, and wasn't knocked out until the very end of the race. And he'd like nothing more than to get a little redemption for the big win tonight here in Las Vegas. That's Gilliland on the inside with John Hunter Nemechek on the outside, and we are back racing at Las Vegas.
Look at that big push by Zane Smith. Hits the 52 of Stuart Friesen in the rear, gives him a nice push. But also a great start by Gilliland. He's going to make that inside lane work.
Oh, no, he moved up. He left the door wide open.
And Gilliland jumps up in front of Stuart Friesen, who looked like he was going to try to get around on the outside. And Ben Rhodes and that silver 99 getting up in there in the mix as well for third.
Yeah, this is one of the craziest tracks for restarts. There's just so many different options. And then you have the draft and the thin air there in Vegas. Oh, Hocevar has got his hands full now.
Wow. You know where you lied with Hocevar in the middle.
Look at that mess. That's what we love about Vegas. We know they're going to be 2 and 3 wide, and that's exactly what we're getting.
Traffic jam on I-10.
You slip up a little bit on these restarts in Vegas, and you will pay the price.
Look at that big dive by Christian Eckes in the 98.
On board with Creed. Watch that 42 of Hocevar.
Turn 4 is so slick. The banking drops off there, and it's so easy to get loose, and then the front end will wash out. Turn 4 is the toughest spot on this racetrack.
Hocevar, just 18 years old, advanced into this round of the playoffs by just 3 points, getting out of Bristol. And he's the only one of our 8 remaining playoff drivers who has yet to notch his first career win. Boy, getting it in Las Vegas. Could there have, not just winning at Las Vegas, but the significance that would come with it and securing his spot in the Final Four. Wow, what a big win that would be tonight.
I love what you guys have said. We're the truckers, and we're going to guarantee if one of these playoff drivers wins tonight, he's going to go to Phoenix and race for a championship. That is a great, great feeling to know that you're going to be able to focus on that one last race in the Truck Series.
What I'm loving right now is this track is racy. It is already grooved in and ready to rip. I expected dirtier, tougher conditions, and these guys are all over the track racing in all the different lanes.
At 13 was Johnny Sauter making a move. Sauter moving up 4 position, trying to get his way into the top 10.
Brett Moffitt in the 25 is on the bottom. That's Grant Ainfinger in the 9 truck. Big news coming next week, I hear, about Grant and what his 22 plans are. Right behind him, Jack Wood. We've already talked about his 22 plans. So these guys are racing hard. And guess what, Vince? They're just outside the top 20. That's how tough and how competitive the Truck Series is.
Ainfinger in that red number 9 ran second last week at Bristol in the 98. Had a good run here in March in the 9 truck. As you see, John Hunter Nemechek continuing to lead. 17 to go here in stage 1, but Todd Gilliland right there in the shadow.
Yeah, he was able to make the pass and get back by Chandler Smith. And to me, Gilliland has showed so far the most strength coming up from the 9th, 10th place starting slot.
And when you're running in second position, as Todd Gilliland was, we ride along here with Stuart Friesen. Check out the bumps in 3 and 4. We talked about how rough it is in 1 and 2. This place is challenging from one end to the next, and it'll just get better as that sun sets. You'll get more grip as the temperature's cool. But Kurt, when you're up front and you're running behind the leader, and he moves up the track, you're just automatically going to go to the bottom, right? You just want to go where they aren't.
Yeah, you just want to feed the nose of your truck to clean air. So you have to predict what the truck in front of you is going to do, and you get a feed off that guy from a few laps prior. So that's why he's looking to the high side, trying to keep the clean air on the nose. He's got a decent run here.
Oh, it worked too.
Oh, out of cut low right there, but he's still trying to look to the high side. We'll see. I love it. It's like you're trying to predict and race with the guy.
There's Austin Hill just ahead of him.
You know what I love, Vince? Kurt said, he's over here driving. You ought to see his hands. He's driving there. I went low. It's so fun watching Kurt watch these races.
Good little battle for 6th. You notice there in the top of the screen, our leaderboard shows you where we currently stand in the playoff points standings. And on the left-hand side of the screen, where they are running on track. So keep you updated where everybody is and what their situation is at this time. Downstairs to Jamie.
Well, you guys talking about the 16 of Austin Hill, 7th right now. One of those drivers, one of 2 that left heartbroken last week at Bristol, actually in shock that they didn't make it on to the next round. Their focus now just trying to get another win. This is a great place for him. He's a 2-time winner. Right now, just saying he's really tight on entry, and he has to back up the corner. You guys are talking about this track. Every driver seems to be fighting something else, so it's swinging as the sun is setting here.
Well, Jamie, great point. And for Austin Hill, it's got to be so frustrating. I mean, they've been 5th and 6th the last 2 years in the championship standings. Even last year when they won the regular season championship, they didn't make the Final Four. This year, they had their sights set on making that championship 4 and fell short again. And it is a championship caliber team, and to not make the championship 4, very frustrating for that group. And you can be sure they came with barrels loaded here tonight.
You know what's interesting so far, Creed, not making much noise. He's still stuck there running 9th behind Austin Hill, and it's like, where's the speed yet, bro? Let's get going.
Going to take a break. 12 to go here in stage 1 in Las Vegas. Don't leave your TV, though. Won't miss a thing. Going to keep on trucking.
First responders, we're giving all active law enforcement, firefighters, and emergency medical services workers Fox Nation for free for an entire year. If you're an active first responder, sign up to Fox Nation. Thank you for keeping us all safe and enjoy your free year of Fox Nation. Sign up today. Fox Nation. America is streaming.
This next step for me is for every kid out there with a dream. You will face challenges, but trust me, no matter what, keep pushing.
Blue Emu Super Strength Original Formula is now available in 3 convenient sizes. Whether you need relief at home, in your gym bag, or on the go. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink. An official partner of MLB and NASCAR.
I'll give you 2.5 of my 10-piece chicken McNuggets for a quarter of your quarter pounder with cheese.
But judging by weight, mine's worth at least 4 chicken McNuggets.
From a cost standpoint, they're of equal value.
But I'm older, so...
Get 2 of your fave like 10-piece McNuggets or a quarter pounder for just $6. Only at McDonald's.
I am sweet. The taste. The smell. It's winning, and there's nothing quite like it. And now, a win is even sweeter, because a win means you move on. That much closer to playoffs glory. I am what we do this for. To be remembered forever as champion. I am the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series playoffs. I am NASCAR.
NASCAR Truck Series racing here on FS1, presented by Blue Emu. Las Vegas Motor Speedway, John Hunter Nemechek continues to lead. He's led them all so far as we get into the late laps of stage 1. Another driver on the move, Tanner Gray, biggest mover, in fact, through the first 24 tonight, Jamie.
Yes, and his goal, Vince, was to be up in the 15th position by the time this first stage ends with 7 laps to go. He's already up to 13, so he's marking the things off of his checklist. Big change for him tonight. He does have Chad Johnson back on crew chief duties. Chad was the crew chief for his brother last night during the ARCA Menard Series West race, which they did win. So that gave Tanner a little bit of extra confidence tonight. He said they have a great pit crew. Looks forward to using them to make a couple more positions on pit road. He moved forward a little bit to Sheldon Creed. You know, the question was raised, why is he back in 8th? He still isn't really making any moves forward. He's really not happy with the truck right now. He said it's a little free into turn 3. It's a little tight through center. It could land a little bit better even. He said overall it's getting better as the sun continues to set, but he just needs some more grip overall. And that's what they're going to work on when they make their first pit stop.
Yeah, Jamie, if you're looking at the grid and you're saying, well, he's running 8th, I mean, he's still having a pretty good run. Remember, stage points at the end of this stage, and those stage points are valuable, especially as you're Creed looking at a guy like Nemechek, who you're probably going to battle for the championship in Phoenix. Well, he's Nemechek's leading, and that's 8 more points.
Right, and then Matt Crafton is the only one of our playoff racers that is outside the top 10. So he is already in a bit of a bind. He loses that position there to Gray. Gray was 3rd here last year, so he knows how to get it done in Vegas, and he goes around Crafton. Crafton's in a bind here. He's got to make an adjustment. We know how vocal he is to Crew Chief Junior Joyner about what he needs. They need a big adjustment here in about 4 laps in order to get themselves back in the game. Lost valuable ground here early.
Well, that's something that you see frankly, when you don't have practice in qualifying. You know, how close you roll in off the hauler makes a huge difference in how well you run in that first stage. And that's why this first set of pit stops, Kurt, is going to be so important, because you've got to make the adjustments that get the truck back in the game.
Oh, and then what is all about right now is banking these points, banking like chips. You just want to grab these chips off the table, put them in your pocket, and move on. And right now, I'm loving what I'm seen from Gilliland. He is applying the pressure to Nemechek. Nemechek knows it, but this is where the playoff atmosphere of one guy running for a championship versus another guy, like Gilliland don't care right now. He's just going for the W.
And I think he's faster than John Hunter right now, but he just can't seem to make it work. You talked about putting chips in your pocket here early. Matt Crafton needs a marker. He's already behind, and he's getting further behind. He's going to have to do something special in the next stage.
Radio from the 18 of Chandler Smith.
I think he's just struggling with the front end grip through the bumps primarily. And those bumps, you know, when the track's hot, it's more exaggerated. But when the track starts to cool, then the bumps seem to smooth out. And it's mainly just because the aero will help push the front end of the truck down. So he's just struggling a little bit with tightness.
No struggle for that guy. John Hunter Nemechek wins stage 1 in Las Vegas.
And the rich get richer in Las Vegas, Vince, because John Hunter's got quite the nice points pad as he races toward Phoenix. Certainly still some work to do.
Yeah, there was some wondering, was he still the odds-on favorite to win the championship? Looking like that title guy tonight.
Everyone remembers the moment they heard, "You have cancer." How there were...
Playoff race number 1 of the round of 8. The winner of this race, if he's a playoff driver, will secure a spot in the championship 4 in Phoenix.
That's special, Vince. I love that. We're going to put somebody into the Final 4 today if one of our championship contenders can win this race.
Yeah, boy, how much easier they're going to breathe knowing they've got to go to Talladega next and then Martinsville after that, and yet they know they're going to the championship 4 regardless.
They're going to go there thinking we're going to win, and then they're going to say, but if we don't, I'll see you in Phoenix.
Getting ready for these pit stops. By the way, the free pass went to the 11 of Spencer Davis. Chris Hacker brought out the only caution of stage 1. He has been treated and released after an accident. Jamie Howe and Jamie Little are on pit road awaiting the pit stops. We'll begin with Jamie Howe.
And it'll be Ben Brooks who stops first. He's told the team he needs some lateral support. He said the back is just moving around too much, so they're going to make an air pressure change. He said as the grip is coming in, it's getting a little slick out there, and the guys in front of him, they're able just to roll so much more speed than he can. His crew chief, Rich Lucius, telling him, we're going to help you out here, buddy. Just go out there and do your job, Jamie.
38 is Todd Gilliland. Air pressure adjustment. They're pretty secure on entry, but getting tighter as he runs. On the bottom in the fourth, John Hunter Nemechek, the winner here in the spring. Doesn't need a water bottle. Pretty good. Needs to wrap a little bit better. And it's a battle off pit road, Vince.
Wow, Nemechek's crew losing a spot to Gilliland. Good work on that 38 over the wall bunch. Stuart Friesen picked up a couple as well. Well, from what we saw of Gilliland and Nemechek in that first stage, we're going to see a lot of those two battling side by side tonight. So anything you can get on pit road is going to be a bonus. We'll drop the green on stage 2 when we come back.
At PNC Bank, we believe in the power of taking steps forward. Moving
Stage 2, there's a good look at the one of Haley Deegan, who is making her 20th career start in the series tonight. Got some damage there in the rear end on the initial start of the race. And you'll see it looks pretty significant, but I don't think there's any harm there, is there?
You see where the Monster Energy sticker is? The fender kind of flares out.
That's a good thing, right?
That's exactly what you need. And so this is what happened. Chase Purdy just didn't give space. You know, you have to understand it's the accordion effect. Accordion effect brought to you by Lawrence Welk. That's what's going to happen on those starts, and you've got to be ready for that. And fortunately for Haley, there's not enough damage there. You saw Purdy come to pit road earlier. He had some damage on the front of that 23 truck. She's been able to. She had to stay on pit road longer there, so she lost her track position, but won't hurt her going forward.
Todd Gilliland will be the race leader.
Very outside the left front. Shows a little bit. Just a couple frays of cord. Other than that, all good. 10-4. Want to see if it cleans up here this next run. Then tell him to watch the final run if it still looks the same. At 10-4. Maybe tell him to be easy when he scuffs back to the right. That's usually what does it.
Talking about some tire wear. We saw some cords off some of those tires on the first run.
That's a different accordion effect, right?
Those are just straight up cords. Those are not good when you're talking about tires.
Gilliland's pit crew got him the lead on that initial stop. Let's see if he can hold it on the restart. Nemechek on the inside, trying to surge ahead.
With a big push from Stuart Friesen as well. They took advantage of the draft and was able to shoot ahead of Todd Gilliland.
Yeah, I love these restarts here at Vegas. I mean,
Creed into the back end of Friesen, gave him a big shove, and Friesen not only gathered it up, but got to the front.
To
somehow.
the lead with authority.
He didn't have any choice but try to take the lead after that big bump from behind, and great move by Stuart Friesen.
Well, Gilliland didn't get a great start on that restart. Nemechek took the lead from him, but now Gilliland fighting back on the outside with Friesen, and it's going to be Gilliland nudging ahead. Can he close the door on the 52? He does.
And look up top. Here comes Zane Smith in the 21. Nice run through 1 and 2. Kurt, it's just going to keep getting racier and racier all night long. The temperatures cool off, and the trucks stick better, and they're going to draft and push and shove.
Oh, hang on. Wow, that was some tight accident. Zane Smith is now on the struggle, but when he was one pushing it through, he's
now
got a
Creed comes around. Creed on the outside.
I think Zane Smith's got a flat.
He does indeed, and that's a problem for one of our playoff drivers. See if he can keep it off the wall.
Incredible job of saving that truck and persevering right now. Will he be able to get it to pit road without the tire coming apart? That's the next question.
It's coming apart. You can see there, and it's causing damage to the left rear, but it's also putting debris down.
Yeah, they're going to throw a yellow for that.
Still green, though, as Gilliland continues to lead Ben Rhodes. And the 21 of Smith still on track.
There's still no yellow out. I hear ya. Man, get it to pit road. That's a tough break.
Hope one of these guys don't hit that debris that has been put down.
And keep your eye on John Hunter Nemechek as well.
Now the caution has come out.
John Hunter Nemechek has a big rub on the right front. As you see, a lap down goes Zane Smith. We're early in this race, though. There's still another stage break. He can get this back if he can get to pit road. I don't know what. You know what I bet's happened, Kurt?
Ready here, guys.
He ripped the battery out with the flat tire.
You're exactly right. It tore apart the whole electrical system back there in the left rear.
Now that battery located just in front of that left rear tire. A good look at Bono, the crew chief.
It's eventually such a tough
lights
break.
on the dash, Saint. 0.
Yeah, he's got to get some power, and they can fix that if they can get to pit road. But man, they need a push right now. He's down one lap. Jamie Little, if he loses another lap, I think it could be the end of his championship hopes tonight, at least.
Yeah, and we saw his crew chief, Kevin Bono Mannion, standing there trying to be as calm as he can, but watching this situation right here. They want to get a push as quickly as possible, bring him down pit lane. They're just going to change that left rear that is flat. They're making a game plan in the pits right now. So as you see, the rest of the field going by him right now, the situation is getting a little more stressful, Vince.
Wow, why don't they push him?
Man, it's gone from bad to worse.
Just truck, the wrecker has come out, the tow truck. Are they going to put him on the hook?
I think they might shove him.
Nemechek getting squeezed.
And you see
got that rub on the right front.
You see the right front of Nemechek's truck is damaged, and it just cut down the left rear of Zane Smith.
Again, like he did an incredible job of saving it all through here, but then the problems started just to compound and build up, and now it's got no electrical system in that truck.
Well, tough break for Zane Smith. He had the transmission issue and finished 35th at Gateway.
Man, that might have been the battery jumping out of there.
They can repair that damage if they can just get a battery in it and put some bear bond on the side. There you see where Allegiant Airlines is written. They can seal that up. The truck's not damaged enough, Kurt. He can be competitive, but he's going to lose 2 or 3 laps.
Yeah, this is just built up to be a huge issue. I mean, again, like they're just racing hard. He was jamming on the outside, making passes, and then boom, one little tire rub like that can change the fate of a championship run.
Boy, and Sheldon Creed was able to escape on the outside. Watch the battery right there come out.
Wow. Or a lot of other stuff, too.
Well, a lot of damage to that left rear, Jamie.
Yeah, there certainly is. They're underneath looking at it. And you guys mentioned Allegiant Airlines. They're based right here in Las Vegas. The team owner lives here in Las Vegas. This was a brand new truck. They were putting it all into this effort to try to get a win for GMS here. Kevin Bono Mannion on the radio, though, staying calm, just told his driver, remember, guys, we were 2 laps down in the spring. We had an issue. We came back to finish 6th. We're not out of this yet as they continue to work on the 21.
Boy, they would need one of those near miraculous comebacks tonight as well to keep this from costing them big points. But the good news is, you know, it's not often we say good news about Talladega and Martinsville, but the good news is a lot of others can have big problems at Talladega and Martinsville and help make up for an issue you might have at Las Vegas.
And look, Zane Smith did nothing wrong. He was just running the high line, came off turn 4, a couple of trucks below him got together, cut his tire down. He didn't make a bad move. He didn't make a bad decision. He just was a victim of circumstances. And now he's 3 laps down as the team continues to work on that battery issue on the left rear of the 21.
That's what makes Vegas so difficult on all these restarts is you're doing your job, you're making passes on the outside and guys to your inside, and you end up with a fender rub, man. Now it's just gone from bad to worse again.
Well, you see where it places Zane in the playoff standings there at the top of the screen. Our running order on the left-hand side, pylon, and of course all the playoff drivers highlighted, and then up top where they stand as they run. So under caution for the Zane Smith issue. We'll come back for a restart in a moment.
The best things America makes are the things America makes out here. The history she writes in her clear blue skies, the legends she births on hometown fields, and the future she promises. When we made Grand Wagoneer, proudly assembled in America, we knew no object would ever rank with the best things in this country. But we believed we could make something worthy of their spirit.
Visible is wireless that doesn't play games. No, sir.
Command hasn't informed the settlement yet. They've panicked. There's nothing they can do. And we hear a storm is coming.
Here to jam?
Aaron?
No, just an aspiring singer-songwriter with my bandmates. Here giving out that Rogers rate to regular folks like us.
State Farm has rates that fit anyone's budget.
Is that so? Mahalo, Kiki. In that case, this one goes out to an ex-best friend of mine who took my rate, just gave it away.
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
Does your vitamin C last 24 hours? Only Nature's Bounty does. Immune 24 Hour Plus has longer lasting vitamin C, plus herbal and other immune superstars. Only from Nature's Bounty.
Single-serve Fancy Feast Petites are just for her. Just the right size, just the right gourmet flavor. No artificial preservatives or colors. Just what she needs. Just what you want. Fancy Feast Petites. Love is in the details.
You know what happens when the Irish come to Chicago, don't you? They color the river green and they sell out of sunblock. Now imagine how jacked up they're going to get watching Notre Dame take on Wisconsin at Soldier Field. Let's see if the good luck travels. And to top it all off, the best pregame party of the weekend. It's time to start Saturday strong.
How is it that every time the world seems to end?
Presented by Westgate Resorts. Sun setting out here in the desert. Beautiful night. Before we go green, we'll check in with Jamie Howe.
I'm going to go back to Ben Rhodes. Vince, remember on that first pit stop, they made an adjustment to make the rear end a little more stable, and it just wasn't enough. Right after this yellow flag came out, Ben told the team that it's just so darty. It's fast, but it's on the verge of being dangerous. He said the rear just needs to be more stable. I'm going to go up a little bit to Matt Crafton in the number 88 machine. He said if I could get some clean air, it would absolutely change everything. He's struggling to keep the truck cool at the moment. They said they're not doing anything different. It's got to just be this dry desert air. But Matt's so frustrated with themselves on the restart. He He told his team with Junior Joyner on the box, he said, maybe for the rest of the night, I can pretend like I belong here.
Clean air, that's like getting dealt a couple of aces, isn't it? I mean, you take them.
Yeah, and then you split them.
Yeah.
And you get a couple of tens, and you win twice as much money.
You're happy.
Yes. I love Vegas.
That's what clean air would feel like for Matt Crafton.
Hey, these restart games, you always want face cards or aces on your hand, but man, there is so much going on these restarts.
And you see Zane Smith still in the pits, his night getting closer to being over. His hopes over for sure tonight as Ben Rhodes jumps out front on this restart. Sheldon Creed right behind him. That's Gilliland on the outside, leading that outside row.
You know, I think it's really interesting right now, Vince. If you talk about clean air and the folks at home say, what's that mean? I don't understand. Look at John Hunter Nemechek. Just a cakewalk in that first stage. Right out front, no issues. He got put into position to get loose some spots. And now he just looks like a regular ran. Just a guy running in the top 5, but nothing special.
Look at that back there. I mean, everybody is ripping, gouging, pushing, and drafting. Like these restarts, again, like you're trying to find that clean air and make your truck handle better, but you also got to stay clean and not get a fender rub.
You know what I love also, Kurt, is guys that just deal with it. You know, you understand, you get back in the pocket, it's not going to handle as good. Well, just figure it out. And that's what these guys are trying to do right now. You can use that clean air or dirty air. Oh, trouble. Is that John Hunter? Did he get it? Should that right front go down finally?
It is Nemechek with an issue.
Wow. This is a game changer. This is huge.
Had contact, and that right front had a little bit of a rub to it, and it may be going down now as Nemechek is off the pace. So we've got Zane Smith, who's had a major problem, and now Nemechek with trouble. Two of our playoff drivers.
Well, we thought the right front was going down, but
no, he kept going. Must have just got wide, maybe almost got the wall and let off the gas. You can see the damage on the right front, excuse me.
For sure, yeah.
Definitely lost a lot of positions, though, as he dropped back.
Now he's back 3 wide into 1, and
watch the 4 truck.
This is when he ran into
Zane Smith.
Zane, but he had a lot of pressure from the 52 of Priest, and right there they squeezed him into Zane, and that's where the damage came from.
But then it looked like a separate issue, like back at Gateway a couple weeks back, like the truck shut off.
Yeah, definitely looked like he lost power because he slowed down and lost spots, and now Nemechek.
Wow, I think it's an engine issue. I just saw some fire come out of the tailpipe.
Back outside the top 20 now is Nemechek, and dropping. He's going to have to come in. Eric Phillips, the crew chief, the winningest crew chief in Truck Series history. And his driver, John Hunter Nemechek, with a big issue here in stage 2.
That's when you just, Vince, you just...
Flip the ignition switch off, and I flip the main power. All my gauges are still lit up, and I have no throttle response.
Sounds like a battery issue of some sort. And there you see it backfiring again, just lack of power, Kurt.
Yeah, it's something with the ignition, the engine itself, just something's a misfire.
Meanwhile, on the left-hand side of the screen, Todd Gilliland has just passed Ben Rhodes for the lead. So Gilliland now out front has looked like he's had the truck to beat all night long. Even when Nemechek was leading, Gilliland was pressuring, and now it's Gilliland out front and Nemechek with a problem on the right-hand side of the screen. Remember, Nemechek came into this race with a 44-point cushion, and now look at him, plus 21.
But that's what a great regular season does for you, Vince. You can have a stumble in the playoffs, and that's exactly what's happened to John Hunter here in Las Vegas. But look at Zane Smith and the issues he has with his points. Not a great regular season. He's in a real bind. John Hunter is going to be able to survive this problem tonight, I believe, and still be okay in the championship hunt.
Fill us in, Jamie Little.
Well, as you can see, Vince, he has come to a stop on the racetrack. The team was prepared for him to come down and take a look at it. He told them they have power in the dash, but no power to the truck. They're trying to make that game plan right now, but the caution is out as the 4 is stalled on track.
Well, now he's got it fired up again. You know, they came to this race believing they had this one circled. I mean, they dominated in March, led 94 laps, outraced Kyle Busch to win the race, and they knew that they were going to come back here loaded for bear, and they were going to have a truck that had plenty of speed, and frankly, they had this one circled on the calendar. Let's win this race and take care of things. We won't have to worry about Talladega or Martinsville.
No power. I have power to the gauges, but no fire. No ignition fire.
So an absolute disaster for Nemechek right now under these circumstances.
You know what I had circled, Kurt? Those 44 points that he earned during the regular season that is going to help him through this round if he has a clean Talladega, clean Martinsville. That's what it's been all about. And I think
wait. Clean Talladega and clean Martinsville.
One or the other.
Yeah, I mean,
let's go with one or the other.
I'm not sure you're going to get one of those, but go to the tables and bet that.
If you're a fan of the NFL, you'd have a great regular season. You get home field advantage. That's what the regular season has done for John Hunter. It gave him a bumper, gave him a cushion. So if something went wrong, like it has here at Vegas, he can survive that. And I think that NASCAR's got the point system perfect. There's so much drama. You saw it at Bristol last weekend. On the last lap, there was like 3 guys that could have been in or out. And now tonight, we're faced with the same kind of drama.
Yeah, but this was supposed to be the easy one for John Hunter. I mean, this was the one, kind of the ace up the sleeve track. And for this one to go wrong and to leave him looking at Talladega and Martinsville, I think that brings all the other drivers right back into the championship picture where John Hunter may have been the heavy favorite.
Yeah, anytime the championship leader has trouble, it brings everybody back in for the points. But let's go down to Jamie on pit road.
Well, Kurt, the 42 of Carson Hocevar, the last time they pitted, the left front was corded. So they'll take a close look at this set of tires and just make sure that it is indeed getting better. They're making an adjustment on that truck. He said that exit speed is where they're being killed. They need to be better there. So they're making those adjustments. He's been running about 9th early on in this race.
And Vince, you saw the 38 of Todd Gilliland thinking about coming. I mean, he has nothing to lose. He's there just to win the race. You pit there, you get that track position out of after the stage break when you stay on the track. I just feel obviously he's got to fix his truck. That's what's going on with John Hunter. But I think it's interesting that Gilliland stayed out. Carson Hocevar, one of our playoff contenders, decided to come to pit road. Is he foregoing stage points in stage 2, looking for the big picture and winning the race? Interesting calls here from the pit crews, and we knew it would be that way. We talked about the 2 stages, 30 and 30, and then the last stage of guys trying to figure out a way to put themselves in a position to win this race. We're seeing that right now.
Well, I think sometimes too, it really depend on how your truck is handling, because you got to get it handling right, especially if you're one of these guys hoping to get a win tonight. I mean, if you feel like you're going to be a contender to win, you got to get your truck right for that last pit stop.
Yeah, it's like a 50-50 call if you're going to pit there or not, but the track position is so important. But man, right now the Ford truck, it's like they got the instruction manual out of chaos. They have yet to really not even sort out what's going on.
Look at Eric Phillips there. He was John Hunter's uncle and crew chief. Hey, this weekend on Fox, you can start Saturday strong with the Big Noon Kickoff pregame show. It begins at 10 o'clock Eastern, live from Soldier Field in Chicago. Big day on Saturday, noon Eastern. It's the 12th-ranked Fighting Irish taking on number 18, Wisconsin. Well, what a great sight that will be at Soldier Field. Huge Big Noon Saturday begins 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. on the West Coast on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Here's a good look at Howie DiSavino in that 3 truck racing with a heavy heart today. His mom, Dawn, passed away last Saturday after a courageous battle with cancer. And not only was Howie her son, but Howie was her caretaker, her caregiver, and they were extremely close. And there's a look. He's carrying his mom's name above the passenger side window tonight, and there was consideration to whether Howie would race this event tonight, but he said he knew his mom would want him to run, and so he is out here racing tonight. In fact, in her dying moments, he said she told him, pass them all, and I think everybody pulling a little more for Howie DiSavino tonight out here. Certainly our thoughts with him and his difficult time this week.
We roll for another restart. This is going to get big here. 5 to go for this stage break.
Gilliland still out front with Creed behind him on the inside. Here comes Rhodes in that silver 99.
And what will Hocevar do in that 42 with the new tires and the adjustment? Can he get up there and get some stage points? He looks like he's pressing, Vince. Right up the middle. There he is to the inside. 3 wide into 3.
Nice.
Hocevar on the bottom. That's Chandler Smith to his right.
Look at him go.
And then Crafton. He was talking about wanting clean air. He got it. He's using it. Love it.
Hocevar on the inside now trying to get past Eckes. 3 laps left here in stage 2.
What a great call by that team. And Hocevar's taking advantage of those fresh tires. He's going to drive up right behind Stuart Friesen here in a spot just outside the top 5.
Phil Gould, the crew chief for Hocevar, advanced out of round 1 of the playoffs by just 3 points. Still seeking his first career win, but he's been able to do it with consistent finishes all season long, and he's having another good run tonight.
Man, and he's going to stay out and have track position as well. He makes his way around Friesen into the top 5 for the 42 of Carson Hocevar.
And how about Creed trying to work on the top side against Crafton? Can Creed get the position? Hocevar on the inside of Crafton now, looking at 3 wide.
He is doing it. He is driving with authority and making passes, making moves. Love that call to come in and get tires.
Yeah, and I love he didn't say anything about dirty air. Let's just go, baby.
He is gassing it up.
I mean, he's 18 years old. He doesn't know much about dirty air yet.
Wow, what great battles there. You see the 15 of Tanner Gray. You mentioned he was 3rd here a year ago, up inside the top 10, racing hard.
Final lap here in stage 2. Good battle there between Friesen and Creed for 4th. Meanwhile, it's Gilliland in the front, and he is going to take the stage win for the 4th time this season.
Been impressed with his truck tonight so far, and the way he's executed the restarts, it's been flawless so far.
You know what?
Will his strategy play out, though?
You know what I love, Kurt, is as soon as the stage ended, I'm like, what are the points? What are the points? Who's where? Who's where? This is so fun.
Todd Gilliland, winner of stage 2.
I am what we do this for, to be remembered forever.
Issue, power cutting on and off. And if you're a Zane Smith fan, significant issues for Smith tonight as well. So 2 of our championship hopefuls with problems this evening. No such issues for Ben Rhodes or Stuart Friesen. They have looked really strong tonight. Carson Hocevar put those fresh tires on and ran right up through the pack and finished 3rd in this stage. Remember, NASCAR gave teams a 5th set of tires, one extra set for tonight, and it allows a move like that Hocevar made because they can come in, put on tires there, and not be down a set.
I suspect he'll stay out here, Vince, and take advantage of the track position that he will inherit when our leaders come to pit road. We'll see if that's indeed the case. You know what I think's most interesting? Sheldon Creed looks like a normal man tonight. He's just been so dominant lately with the wins, but tonight he's just, Jamie Howe, he's just running right in the middle of the pack. So we'll see what happens on this pit stop.
Well, then for Stuart Friesen, he said it does feel like the truck is racing a little bit better. Still a tight entry to the middle. He does need a clean tear off. He said as the sun went down, it's a little bit dirty out there. Some fresh water also. The track bar adjustment, 4 tires, and fuel up pit lane. The number 99 of Ben Rhodes. He reiterated again to Rich Lucius, I need the rear to be more stable. He said, I cannot run as fast as them. I don't have the security to do it. So they're going to change the track bar and air pressure adjustment also, Jamie.
And Todd Gilliland in the 38 just wrapped up his 4th stage win of the season. A 4-tire stop here. Said he turns pretty good on the bottom. Just overall a little bit tight, but the track seems to be freeing up for most of these guys. So they're going to leave it put the way it is, Vince.
Well, and I think Gilliland's crew has had a great night as well. They took care of business on that stop as well after gaining Todd the lead on the previous pit stop. Coming back for the final stage at Vegas.
RV ready to go? Water. We waiting for? Oopsie doopsie. It's the battery.
Hey, folks. Uh-oh. Open hood, never good.
We brought some oranges because we are out of juice.
Let's get you back on the road.
Series from Sin City. What a beautiful night. Temperature in the low 90s when we got started tonight. Starting to cool off. What a beautiful evening. And especially if you're Carson Hocevar, who will have clean space in front of him when we go back to racing on this restart here in the 3rd and final stage. Quickly, let's get an update from Jamie Little.
Well, good news all around for Carson Hocevar. So I mentioned after the first stage, he had left front tire wear. He had some cording. Well, these are the tires that just came off right before the end of stage 2, and they look great. And guys, by the way, part of the success of Hocevar is the man who is his mentor right here. Ross Chastain, the watermelon guy. Look at the watermelons on there. Ross, good to see you here. He mentors Carson Hocevar, really helps and coaches him. He's not racing here for 2 more days yet. He's down here on the pit box and standing around talking to his young driver.
Well, Hocevar is certainly fortunate to have not only Ross there, but Phil Gould, a veteran crew chief, working with him, who teamed up with Ross on several Nice wins a couple of years ago.
Now it all makes sense. Chastain, the watermelon man, helping Hocevar. Hocevar's been driving like a honey badger tonight. Like, he is on it, juking, diving, and restarting.
What a great push he got from Austin Hill there as well, Kurt. It's going to shove Hocevar to the lead.
Love it. He is taking charge right now.
Remember, if one of our playoff drivers would win this race tonight, they punch their ticket to the Championship 4 and guarantee themselves a spot at Phoenix for an opportunity to win the championship. And right now, that person out front is Carson Hocevar.
Look, wrapping around the top, that 38 of Todd Gilliland. He is making some moves. 3 wide, as you see him on the outside of Chase Purdy, bringing along Grant Enfinger with him. Big push from Ben Rhodes as well. Great racing here at Vegas.
It's all about that high groove momentum, and when you get it spooled up on a restart and you don't have to check up, you can just keep digging and gain spots on that high side.
John Hunter Nemechek with his problems, a couple of laps down. Zane Smith had problems early.
And Hocevar is wheeling it, Vince. You see him sideways there through 3 and 4, but hanging on to that lead. Nice run for Austin Wayne Self. He's up in the top 5 in that 22, and there's Tanner Gray. Talked about his top 5 here last year. Great run early, but here comes Todd Gilliland. The best truck so far tonight. Wouldn't you agree, Kurt?
Absolutely. No, he's digging on the bottom right now, and he's trying to make a move to get by Sauter. And the bottom side, you get bottled up, and that's where he's struggling right now to try to, get clear of that Austin Wayne Self truck. It's just that bottom side gets all bottled up.
And Sauter just ahead of him in that 13. The 2 of Sheldon Creed, maybe into the wall. Take a look and see if there's a little, definitely.
Oh, wow, he got loose down in the center of the turn and up into the wall he went. See if we can see what it feels like on board with Sheldon.
Very dirty air when you follow 3 trucks in one. Yeah, that just didn't go well. When you have that many trucks in front of you, Mikey, like, it's just triple dirty air.
When you get in the wall like that, your heart just sinks.
Here comes Hill.
For the lead, Austin Hill challenging Hocevar.
And Hocevar holds on to the high side.
It's the 26 of Anchorman and Chandler Smith. Playoff driver. Heavy damage to the left front. Haley Deegan involved. Chase Purdy as well. And there's Creed.
There are playoff drivers everywhere in this mess. Wow.
Wow. What a tough night for some of these championship hopefuls. Zane Smith, Nemechek. Now it's Creed and Chandler Smith with issues.
That is a terrible wreck. Wow, that truck is going to burn to the ground. I'm glad he's out of there. He's going over to check on Chandler.
Look at the back of that 18 truck. It's gone.
Wow. Who, what, where, why, and how did all that start? I have no idea right now. It's one of the toughest wrecks I've seen at Vegas for a while.
Haley Deegan with significant damage on the right side as well. Crew on hand to put out the fire on that Sheldon Creed truck.
This is crazy. Championship implications. Tyler Ankrum with a strong run in that 26 truck, and away that went.
I tell you, these restarts at Vegas, this is one of the toughest 1.5 miles to predict which lane you need. Of course, the high side's going to be preferred, but everybody wants to get there, and there's too many trucks in one spot.
And you know what just happened, Vince? Zane Smith said, what just happened?
Yeah.
I mean, he's still running around this racetrack. He's 18 laps down, but this is big for that team. You can see, I think Ankrum just gets loose.
And John Hunter Nemechek as well, who's a couple of laps off the pace.
And then watch, Smith tries to squeeze through the top. You just simply can't change directions running 180 miles an hour, Kurt. He had nowhere to go. He committed to the top.
Creed just, wow, that was a huge hit. Yeah, Creed must have saw something different, wanted to cut to the low side to get away from all this mess, and it was just a bad decision. But yeah, like you said, Mikey, like when your truck is committed and loaded up into the banking, it is very difficult to change directions.
That's crazy.
We had 5 drivers in the playoffs finish outside the top 20 at Gateway early in the playoffs, and we're looking like a similar type situation tonight because we have had 4 drivers in the playoffs with big problems. Watch it from the perspective of Sheldon Creed. This will make you cringe.
He's the wreck up ahead. He's like, I'm just going to commit low.
You know, there's a chance that he couldn't see through that smoke, Kurt. You know, we see clearly from on top of the truck, but maybe he couldn't see through the smoke and decided he would gun it up and get to the bottom and didn't know that last truck was there.
Never would have predicted that many vehicles would have shoved to the inside, but he gassed it up when he was down there on the flat, and that led to disaster. I'm just glad he's all right.
I'm glad he's okay, and also Chandler Smith, who was on the receiving end of that contact.
And look at him rushing over to make sure Chandler's okay.
And there they are, Chandler and Sheldon. They've surveyed the damage.
This is crazy. We've seen, Bristol was nuts, the way the playoffs shuffled around at the end. Let's see if we can see from up above as you see Chandler Smith going to the bottom and Sheldon's trying to get low.
And remember, Sheldon Creed was back in the pack because he had gotten up into the wall and had lost some positions and track position, or he wouldn't have been back there. But after he lost all that track position, he was behind at the beginning of that accident and
see all the smoke.
Ultimately got into it.
I don't know that Creed knew that the 18 truck was down there because of the smoke, and I think he thought there was a free pass through there.
I agree with you 100%. He just didn't see Chandler Smith down there. Huge impact. And then again, this is an opening round, for the playoffs. I'm getting this first race in, and this reminds me a lot of St. Louis. It's just crazy with the playoff implications.
From Friesen's view.
Man, when you see a wreck and you're able to just take a second and say, all right, I'm going to go low, and it clears up, that's the best feeling in the world. Obviously, the opposite for the 2 truck of Sheldon Creed.
So Chandler Smith on the hook, and Creed will be on the hook as well. So 2 of our playoff drivers will get DNFs.
Yeah, and 2 more are hobbled in Zane Smith and John Hunter Nemechek.
And we've got 60 to go. We got a lot of racing left.
And Nemechek's only 2 laps down, so he's obviously going to take advantage of these playoff contenders having issues as they continue to work on the Ford truck.
So how does this change the dynamic in the championship in your mind? Because Sheldon Creed had asserted himself, I think, to the front of the conversation in regards to championship favorites.
Yeah, but he, like I said earlier, he looked like a mortal tonight. He's just sort of riding in the pack. Let's see what Carson Hocevar is thinking about this mess that just occurred off turn 2.
Big picture, racing right here now. All the points. Obviously, we'll go get this win, but don't want to wreck trying to get it. Yeah, 10-4 on that. I'll keep on the wheel here.
That sounds like Tyler Green coaching his young 18-year-old playoff contender as you see the points at the top of the screen. That's what I'm most interested in, Kurt. Look how tight it gets right there around the playoff bubble.
That cut line. What's really starting to show is that decision to pit before stage 2 ended, and then you flip-flop the whole running order around, and now you're back there and you're kind of just left in a spot where you didn't want to be, and you got to, as a driver, make clean decisions to continue to march your way back forward. But let's go down to Jamie Little and check in on the Ford truck.
Kurt, you guys were talking about some issues for our playoff drivers and the 4 being one of them. The last thing he said on the radio is that it just shuts off under power in the middle of turn 3. He said, I don't know what's going on. And they said it might be the wiring harness for the ECU. So they brought him down, took a look at it. So the gremlins are certainly not gone as he continues to ride around in 29th.
And a couple of laps down. And if you don't have the problem fixed, that leads you to believe that it could rear its, and likely will rear its ugly head again before we're all said and done, because they don't typically fix themselves.
No, they don't.
Big pile up in Vegas.
Sunday on Fox, it's a huge doubleheader. First, Baker Mayfield and the Browns.
Getting ready to go back green. Playoff implications tonight. How it works. The playoffs, we started with 10 drivers going for the championship. 2 were eliminated last week after Bristol. That was Gilliland and Hill. And leaves us with 8 left. 4 drivers will be eliminated after this round. And this round consists of tonight here in Las Vegas and then Talladega and Martinsville. That will leave us with 4 drivers who will run for the championship at Phoenix on November 5th. They cross the line. There will be 57 to go. That's Austin Hill in the 16, getting a shove from Hocevar in the 42. Tanner Gray in the 15 leads the inside line. And now Hill jumps in front of him.
Wow, what a crossover by Hill. Took that bottom line right away from the 15 of Gray. And now Hocevar back there in that big mess. 2 wide. Will they go 3 wide?
That is a mess. I mean, when you lose your momentum just a little bit, you are susceptible to everybody jumping on top and driving right around you.
So much traffic, and it's so difficult to get everybody sorted out after these restarts. There's the 38 of Gilliland now on the inside of Hocevar. What a night it's been for Gilliland as he's up there challenging for 3rd. 1 stage 2. He's led 23 laps, and he has had, I think he's had the best truck tonight.
No doubt, and he's proven it again. Matt Crafton 3 wide on the bottom. You see Derek Krause up top.
Ryan Truex making a bold move to the outside.
What about Chris Wright in that 02 truck? Very solid run tonight up inside the top 10.
And Nemechek has lost power again in that 4 truck. And NASCAR is telling him now, get off the track. So they can stay green. And Nemechek down off track and out of the racing groove. But is he going to make it back to pit lane? That's the question.
It's like every time the camera pans over, we find another championship contender in trouble. Another playoff guy feeling the wrath.
What about Brett Moffitt in the 25 down on the inside of Matt Crafton as things have settled down a bit at the front with Austin Hill stretching it out over Tanner Gray? I don't think that, we're going to have caution. I sense a yellow, Kurt. What do you think?
I think that you're going to be 100% right on that, Mikey.
Did you hit the button, Mike, to put the yellow out? Because no. As soon as you said that, the yellow came.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a sixth sense I have. Sometimes I just think of things and it just happens.
Deadly accurate.
Now, this 54 to go, they're in the pit window now, and do you anticipate that we're going to see guys come in and get that last stop?
I guess no, because we saw how important tires were earlier when Hocevar took them. He drove right through the field, and those teams take note of that. And so maybe they'd like to see, haven't run that many green flag laps. Maybe they'd like to see some more laps before they get the next set of tires.
I agree, and then there's an extra set tonight, which is not normal for the truck series, so that could come into play.
Yeah, and we didn't have a competition caution, too.
We could come and get them now, and you'd still have a set down.
I don't know, but we know how important track position is. I wouldn't be surprised to see some of them pit. I really would be surprised if they all did.
This race is won with track position and being able to hold the throttle down. And this is that time where you make the call. I think you pit here.
You know, it's interesting. You say, well, they're giving them an extra set of tires. That'll really kind of eliminate the strategy, right?
Yeah. No.
And now here we are talking about, well, that never eliminates the strategy.
It just changes the strategy. It never eliminates it. I don't know.
Handshake here to Austin Hill in that 16. He has won 2 of the last 3 here in Vegas, finished 3rd in the other one, had his heart ripped out last week at Bristol by getting eliminated. And then that driver right behind him in the 15, Tanner Gray, another strong run, 3rd here in March. I mean, this is his kind of track. He's proven it again tonight.
Another guy that had his heart ripped open at Bristol was Todd Gilliland. And he's one of the 2 guys we've talked about all night long. Most of the leaders are coming to pit road.
Well, there you have it. We'll go downstairs, and Jamie Howe will be first.
And for Tanner Gray, the message to his team was positive. It was the changes that they made on that last round of pit stops where they freed it up just a little bit. He got a good run out of it. They're coaching him through, saying, just be smart here. They're telling him where he's better, where the other ones are better. He's never been in this position before, so it's taking some teamwork. For Ben Rhodes, he said their team was telling them, you've got to think the big picture. He said, you're doing a great job in the restarts. Remember, he wanted big changes last time. He said it was a little too much, Jamie.
16 of Austin Hill, really tight early on. He was having to back up the corner, but the big problem was he was getting a bad tire vibration. He reported about 30 laps ago, so they're happy to come down and check this truck out. But it feels pretty good overall. Obviously, once again, as you guys talked about, Austin Hill with great speed tonight.
Like it, we've got some guys that took no tires, moved up a ton on track position-wise. The plot just keeps thickening.
Oh, it does. It does. It's going to get more and more interesting because you can see, while most of our leaders all pitted, some guys have decided, all right, it's time for me to shine. I'm in Vegas. The lights are shining, and I want people to know about me and my team. The 12 truck right out front, and this one, he's wishing the lights would go out.
He's getting a lot of TV time for all the wrong reasons, is John Hunter Nemechek, and he's making the hard left into the garage area. Hey, tonight's race, the Victoria's Voice Foundation 200, and if you're not familiar with what is Victoria's Voice and their foundation, Victoria is the daughter of David and Jackie Siegel, and Victoria, as a teenager, died from a drug overdose. And the Siegels have been relentless in their efforts of drug education, the dangers of addiction, and the possibility of recovery. And they have really directed their efforts toward the young people in all communities. It has been a nationwide effort, the educating of parents and the educating of young people about the dangers of drugs and the addiction, so they can help us save our kids and our children don't fall as Victoria did and suffer. We don't suffer the heartbreak that David and Jackie Siegel are experiencing. So thanks so much to the Siegels for all they have done and in their educating all of us. And we encourage you to investigate more about Victoria's Voice Foundation. Coming to 50 to go here in Las Vegas, and Las Vegas native Jamie Little on pit road. Jamie?
Yes, thank you, Vince. Yes, huge hit for Chandler Smith, caught up there after a big win last weekend. Chandler, first off, are you okay? And second off, what exactly happened?
Yeah, I'm all good. Tyler got loose up at the top. I seen him completely sideways, and some tracks like this, I've had some experience when people are spinning up next to the wall. They come back down the racetrack and take out a good portion filled with them. So Spotter told me to go low. I should have listened to him. So it's completely my fault. I went high, went with my gut. Bit the bullet for it, but I mean, it is what it is. It's just a heartbreaker. You know, we had a lot of good momentum, had a really fast safe flight autoglass Toyota Tundra tonight, and got in front of all the guys that had tires except for one, and we would have been set pretty good there. Disappointed myself.
It's Chandler. Vince?
Vince, at 170 miles an hour, Kurt, you know this, you've got like 1 second to make a call. It was high or low. He chose high. It was wrong that time. It'll probably be right next time. You can't beat yourself up too bad.
Tough call, tough break, and it's just the playoffs, man. This is that whole nerves just going and emotions every which way. We got these restarts. I love them.
That's Brett Holmes in the 32 that started on point. Tate Fogelman was in the 12. Fogelman drifting back, and the 38 of Gilliland surging to the front.
There comes Brett Moffitt in the 25 down low. Going to try to taste that lead with a good push from Austin Hill. Moffitt to the front.
Wow, what a run for Brett Moffitt here in this Rackley War machine. The Silverado is out front.
He's got to move up and block. There you go. That's a great move. And that's a veteran move from Moffitt to block the 38 truck.
He's got a fast one behind him, though, and Todd Gilliland, that 38. Gilliland has been on fire tonight. That thing has been pointed toward the front all night long. It has been, I think the best truck we've seen out there tonight, but can he get around Moffitt for the lead?
Vince, I talked to Brett earlier today, and he's like, I won twice in this truck. It had a different body on it. It was a different team, but I think I can run up front. Here he is leading, but on the outside, the fastest truck, as you mentioned, all night long.
Well, and remember, Moffitt didn't come and get tires with those rounds of pit stops that everybody else came and picked up fresh Goodyears, so bit of a disadvantage for Moffitt. Oh, Gray gets into Moffitt. They both wiggle. Yeah, wow.
And he's going to pay the price for that for the next 3-4 laps. He's just going to get swallowed up.
Look at Matt Crafton getting his way up toward the front, giving a big push to Tanner Gray, getting him back going, gaining the momentum back. Good job by the 88 of Crafton.
Ooh. These guys are getting aggressive. This is what it's all about, is positioning yourself for that high lane and keeping that momentum up. I'll tell you, Taylor Gray, he proved me wrong. He got back up on his horse, and he's held that position really well.
Oh, here comes Friesen trying to work on Sauter. That's Sauter to his right in that 13 truck. Sauter, a former winner here at Las Vegas. In fact, got his first career win here back in 2009. Up front is Gilliland with Austin Hill and Christian Eckes in tow.
Here comes Hill, Vince.
Looking to the inside, taking a peek. Can't make the move yet. Sizing up Gilliland.
What great racing, huh?
How about these 5 guys in the front, all non-playoff guys? And now Crafton has just passed Tanner Gray to slip into the 5th spot. But Gilliland, Hill, Eckes, Moffitt, none of them still in the hunt for a championship.
Yeah, in the first stage, Matt Crafton was a factor. He finished outside the top 10, and we thought he's in trouble. How quickly things change, huh?
I love the way that this track is racing right now. And like you said, Vince, like these guys aren't in the playoff hunt. They're just like messy hair, don't care. They're throwing it all down on the line.
And if there's ever been any question about, well, it's just about the championship guys once you get to the playoffs, I think we're seeing that's the case tonight. Everybody has their own agenda. Everyone has goals. Even when you're not in the playoffs, you still have a mission, and mission being accomplished by the top 5 as Sauter has moved into that 5th position now.
Vince, look up top of the screen. That mess around the playoff line. Who's in, who's out. 1 point good, 1 point to the bad. This is, look, it changes every lap. This is awesome.
Tyler Ankrum out of the care center. He's with Jamie Howe.
And Vince, Tyler Ankrum is now watching our feed. You shook your head. What were you struggling with that led to that spin out on the racetrack?
Ran out of talent. Was racing the 22 there, and he faded high, and I was going to try to grab his right rear quarter, and got up in the marbles and just lost it. So, yeah, pretty much. And then the 18, here he comes, and then I go back down the track, and I don't know who else hit me, but I know Sheldon was involved in that wreck, so I want to apologize to him. I mean, he's in the playoffs and I'm not, and so it sucks, but we had a pretty fast truck. Just got to thank Lionel Chevrolet for everything at GMS. So it sucks, but we'll just go to the next race.
We'll have to wait 1 more week to get back in, Vince.
Yeah, and Ankrum mentioning Sheldon Creed specifically because they are teammates and at GMS, and certainly for Ankrum to feel as though he made a mistake that cost his teammate a big points night carries a little extra burden with that.
Well, I mean, just look at the playoffs up top on our graphic. How tight it is right there, and what Sheldon, Hocevar, Crafton, all these guys are going to be faced with when we go to where? Talladega.
What? Martinsville? What?
It's going to be big.
The battle for this trophy. I mean, it's big every time we throw the green in the Camping World Truck Series. Wow.
Saturday is Baseball Night in America on Fox.
You want action? We got action.
Freddie Freeman and the Braves look to move one step closer to an NL East title.
It is unbelievable.
But Fernando Tatis Jr. awaits as the Padres continue their fight for the wild card.
Diving catch.
Or with the AL Central clinched, Jose Abreu and the White Sox take on Jose Ramirez and the Indians.
Are you kidding?
It's Baseball Night in America, Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
There's a buzz in the air in Kansas. Maybe it's the roar of fans back at the track, or the anticipation of 8 drivers hoping to make it to the championship 4. Maybe it's the pulse of the heartland, showcasing 3 races and the sound of grills sizzling in the campgrounds. Whatever it may be, it will be a weekend full of memories. And here sooner than you think. Get your tickets at kansasspeedway.com.
Some like you to think they still build the best trucks. But according to just about anybody who's handing out a trophy, Ram currently builds the best trucks. So if you're shopping for a truck today, here it is. If you're shopping in the past, well, good luck with that. Ram, the top brand in new vehicle quality in the entire automotive industry.
Get 0% financing for 72 months on select Ram 1500 models or $3,550 in total values on Ram 1500 Bighorn.
So you went to Mickey D's and didn't even... Man, that's wrong. What? Yeah, all right.
Get 2 of your faves for just $6, like 2 Quarter Pounders. Only at McDonald's.
You don't become the official partner of MLB and NASCAR if you aren't the strongest and the fastest. Blue Emu's unique formula with emu oil offers relief when you're training to win. Blue Emu Super Strength. It works fast and you won't stink. Official partner of MLB and NASCAR.
3, 2, 1. We are the center of everything NASCAR.
The core of the sport you love. Big trouble.
With unprecedented access,
expert analysis,
and the only place where the biggest stars from behind the wheel join us behind the desk.
That's the way we do it, boys. NASCAR Race Hub, sponsored by Wendy's. Weeknights at 6 Eastern on FS1.
I am what we do this for, to be remembered forever as champion. I am the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series playoffs. I am NASCAR.
3rd, 4th, and 5th. Throw a blanket over them here in Las Vegas. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series playoff race. The first race in the round of 8, and it has been a dramatic one. Sheldon Creed, one of our championship favorites, out of the race. He's out of the care center and now is with Jamie Howe.
And Sheldon Creed had been showing so much promise early on, Vince, moving up into the top 5, but then it struck for you. What happened? What did you see out front?
Yeah, I mean, restarts were insane all night. Had a lot of fun there at the beginning in restarts, and then got shuffled back there when we didn't pit. Right here, I see the one get hit and spin, and honestly didn't even see the 18. I was paying attention to the one, so I didn't hit her, and I was watching that 26 to make sure he didn't come down the hill. And yeah, Koss just destroyed the 18. Just unfortunate. Maybe should have short pitted that. Me and Jeff talked about it under caution, and then would have started up front on this stage. And it didn't have a great truck, but I thought we were in a top 8 truck probably. But unfortunate, but it'll make Talladega interesting and fun. And just got to thank Lift Kits for last trench showing my whole team, GMS. We're gonna keep working hard for this thing and make sure we have a solid shot at getting to the championship 4.
Thanks, Sheldon. Vince?
Well, it's always interesting when more emphasis gets put on Talladega.
Yeah.
Because we know what that means.
You know what's interesting? Everybody was looking forward to Vegas until they crashed, and they're like, we'll go to Talladega. And, you got to look forward to the next one, and that's what racers do. You got one more chance. They got another chance straight ahead, and that's what Sheldon's going to be focused on.
Yeah, it's been amazing to watch how each of the opening races of the rounds have swallowed up these playoff guys, and now they're like, oh yeah, Talladega, that'll fix everything.
And there you see Talladega, October 2nd. Coverage begins at noon, and the final race in this round of 8 at Martinsville on October 30th, and then we run for the championship on November 5th in Phoenix.
What about our man, 45-year-old Matt Crafton? The championship's under his belt. We talked early about his struggles. He just is clipping them off one at a time, slipped into the top 5. Now he's got a sight set ahead on Stuart Friesen. Let's see what this team's thinking, Stuart Friesen.
Clean air. Give us about 100 foot both ends. Lift it. We're right on our number. I got you. I can't get all the way out of it, though. Got to chase him out. I know. Just let you know.
I have a question question, Kurt. I've always been interested in the world we live in today with all the data and information you have. When they say, lift 100 feet early for me every lap and you'll make it, how much as a driver do you say, yeah, whatever?
100 feet could mean that you're going to either get to victory lane or you're going to run out of gas. I mean, when the team tells you to back it off and run some conservative laps for fuel, you've got to do your job as a driver and execute, just like a quarterback would or a forward. In basketball, you name it. You just got to do your job on what you're told to do, and you got to follow the lead.
It didn't sound 100% like Stuart Friesen was in, huh, Vince? He's like, yeah, whatever. I got to keep these guys behind me, too. This is interesting.
Yeah, he's like, do I have to lift and still maintain lap time? What are you talking about?
The 99 of Rhodes getting past Austin Hill now for 6th.
Yeah, Hill's been slipping. Saw Crafton get around him, and now Rhodes. And here comes Hocevar around Tanner Gray up into the 9th position. So Carson just keeps clipping him off as well.
Well, you see those names highlighted on the left-hand side of the screen. The pylon, Friesen, Crafton, Rhodes, and Hocevar. They were all, of course, championship contenders and still in the mix. They are the best of the group so far as you look at your Blue Emu Maximum Relief Race Summary for the Victoria's Voice Foundation 200. Todd Gilliland on top.
Dominant truck for Todd Gilliland tonight. He's led the most laps. Been very impressive, and that just breaks your heart even more after what happened to him at Bristol. Missed by 2 points. Just a couple of positions on the track, and felt like he was in a great place to move on at Bristol, but that didn't work out. But he's showing the strength of this team here tonight.
But just think how this could have changed had he made it in after Bristol. I mean, he missed by 2 points, as you said, Mike, but imagine if he would have made it in, and then he backs it up with a win here. All of a sudden, now he's in the championship 4. That's how close it is between hero and zero, right?
Every point matters. Every restart, every stage, you have to always dig. You have to get up on the wheel and go. And that's, I mean, it's always the what if, right, Vince? But man, Gilliland has been on it tonight, and it's a shame. You're right. Like, he is not championship eligible, and he's right now, if he is able to close this deal out and win this race, he's got a free ticket to Phoenix.
Yeah, he's taking him to the woodshed tonight, that's for sure. He led only 5 laps here at Vegas before tonight. He's been out front for 47 tonight and has a lead of working on close to 2 seconds now. Jamie Howe? Jamie Little.
Jamie.
Actually, Jamie Little, the 38th, and he's now led the most. Jamie, there's Jamie's all over the place. Todd Gilliland, though, has led the most laps tonight. And, you know, as I talked about earlier, he was just going to take a different approach. They missed it. They're not moving on and going for a championship. So all he could do is focus on getting another win and having fun. And he had a great idea about tonight. He said it's going to be hot and slick. We're going to have a good truck, and we are coming to win. That's exactly what he's doing, guys. And he's starting the lift a little bit early now, taking care of those front tires. They only have 1 set of stickers remaining.
I also think they're taking care of that fuel, Vince. I think everybody's in the mode of, can we stretch it? Can we make it? And when you're the leader and you got a second and a half over the field, you can really start to use that throttle and roll off of it and try to save that gas.
Well, and for Gilliland, it has been a really strong second half of the season. I mean, the last 10 races, he's been top 10 in all of them but one. And, of course, that began with the win at COTA in the rain. And he has just been getting better and better each week. Tip of the cap to Chris Lawson, the crew chief there, the work that they've done over at Front Row Motorsports in preparing this truck. It has been a program that has taken a big step forward here in the second half of this season.
And it's been fun to watch. Like you said, Vince, starting at COTA, you just saw this team really get their maturity and start to really put together some finishes. And what an impressive night it's been for them here.
And at this point, when you've got a lead and you see he's backing down a little bit, trying to save some fuel, it's under a second now. But you start to get a little nervous, don't you? You know that the only thing that's going to keep you from winning in all likelihood is something going wrong.
Well, and also, do you have enough gas? And what's the caution flag going to do? And how will strategy play out? What do you do next? you start to hear a lot of vibration or feel bad vibrations and hear things in your truck that you hadn't heard before. That all is going on right now, huh, Kurt?
Yeah, these lap times that were just a standard 32 seconds, they feel like 64.
Oh, there's the caution, and it's Drew Dollar in the 51.
Just when we thought it was going to get strung out.
Exactly what Gilliland didn't want, just as we were talking about the situations that could present themselves. Jack Wood in the 24 involved as well.
Jack Wood's on the lead lap, so Gilliland had lapped up to the 16th position, Vince, so making his way through these trucks, and for some reason into the wall went Wood.
Incident already in progress as we pick it up here on the replay, and
looked like Wood had already hit the wall, and maybe Dollar was trying to avoid. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but trouble for both those racers. Wood maybe first.
What it does is make sure that everybody is good on gas to the end. Do you consider pitting here?
Yes.
You've got tires, right? 20 to go?
I want tires. We've seen them mean a lot, and so we're going to pit. That's what I say, Vince.
Yes,
what do you say, Kurt?
I agree with you, and then there's only 15 trucks that are on the lead lap, and so it's not like in Cup where you have 20 to 30 guys that are still running.
Well, if you're going to pit, somebody's going to play the opposite, aren't they?
I don't know. I think you got to. If you're going to win, you got to pit.
Don't disagree. I would definitely want to come to pit road, but I'm just thinking maybe somebody out there says, well, what could we do?
You might have
somebody. Could we gamble?
I don't think so.
There goes crap. All those that are on the lead lap going to come to pit road, I would imagine. Jamie Howe.
And Stuart Friesen will be the first one to stop in his box. He said they're telling him you just have to race your own race. So everybody's in the same boat. He said it's pretty stable, just a little on the snug side, but they wanted that extra set of tires, Jamie.
38 of Todd Gilliland, they talked about and said we need to come in. Starting to get a little bit tight, but he said, honestly, we are so good on the bottom. You saw the speed they had in this truck, putting that last set of sticker tires on. Christian Eckes in the 98, part-time with this team, having the best run we've seen all year. You've got one top 10 on the season. Perhaps we'll bring it home tonight, maybe even a W here, Vince.
Yeah, it's been a good run for Eckes. He was 9th here in the spring, and has had some good runs here in Vegas, and he finished the job tonight.
Everyone
Welcome back to Las Vegas, the Camping World Truck Series, and the drivers coming to the choose zone, and Johnny Sauter stayed out. I told you somebody would stay out, and Sauter.
You were right, Vince, but I'm telling you, staying out is like standing on a 16 when the dealer's got a king showing.
Yeah, he's on 30 lap older tires. That's probably not going to work.
You don't stand on a 16.
No. He's going to have to gas it up if he wants to hold it.
Hey, our next race is Talladega. You think it's crazy tonight? Wait till we get down to Alabama. It's always fun at Talladega, and you never know, and you can't count on any kind of positive result when you go to Talladega. A playoff driver has never won at Talladega.
I think that changes.
Well,
next Saturday, one of these guys get it done.
Downstairs to Jamie.
And for Johnny Sauter, Joe Shear Jr., his crew chief, just told him, I think I messed you up here. I was hoping everybody behind us didn't stop, but they did. So he's on the older tires, told him, just do what you can with it. Overall, it's been an optimistic night for him. This is a brand new truck for that ThorSport organization. It's their latest and greatest. The rules don't allow any wind tunnel testing, so they took this to the green flag tonight without having any information. So they'll have a lot of good data to take home tonight, Vince.
Well, Sauter's been top 10 all 3 playoff races so far, but he just got off to such a difficult start this season and just couldn't put anything together and didn't make the playoffs for the 2nd year in a row. But once the playoffs hit, they have been rock solid.
They're getting ready to be rocked.
They're getting ready to be drop like a rock, I think, is what's going to happen here with Sauter on the outside.
It's not going to be pretty for that 13 truck.
Fresh tires behind him in every position. Gilliland on the inside with Eckes pushing from behind in the 98. Johnny Sauter getting help from his teammate Ben Rhodes in the 99. 3 of those top 4 trucks, ThorSport machines.
Big restart with almost 15 laps to go, and guys are pushing hard. Friesen's all over him.
There's going to be Eckes. Able to hold on to second, and now there's a big connection up top. They were all connected and somehow didn't wreck.
4 wide, and I hope that Crafton doesn't end up with a fender rub. That is the worst thing at this place, man.
Camping World 15 to go. 15 laps left here in Las Vegas.
4 wide again, Kurt. Somehow they survived it.
I love Hocevar. He has been digging hard today.
Tanner Gray.
What a great run for that 15 truck, but he needs to get to pit road. That left front's going to blow out.
That's not good. Come on, buddy. Get it down in there.
It had been a good run for Gray, as Michael mentioned, and right inside the top 5 for a good portion tonight.
Wasn't I telling you guys about fender rubs and how tough this place is on restarts? This is one of the toughest mile and a halves for restarts.
Brett Holmes in that 32's done a solid job all night. There goes the left front of Gray's.
Yeah, he was running 10th at the time. Meanwhile, Gilliland continues to lead, and we're still green. Is Gray going to be able to get down off track before that starts coming apart and putting debris on the track? It looks so far so good that he's able to get down.
What about Stuart Friesen, Vince? We talked about his 3.6 average finish in the first 3 playoff races. He's running third again, right on average, but he's thinking more. He's thinking win and get to Phoenix.
And Christian Eckes, that driver running second, looking for his first career win. Jamie mentioned earlier, on a part-time schedule this season. His average finish this season has been 15th.
Do you think he cares anything about a playoff race?
Nope. Only cares about the win. Those 2 guys out front, they're not worried about the playoffs, neither one of them. It's Friesen who's a little more concerned about the playoff picture, obviously.
And it was not a great 3 and 4 for the 98 of Eckes, and Friesen's trying to take advantage down on the inside. Couldn't get it done.
Right now, these guys are elbows out racing for everything right now. I love the way that Gilliland has just taken charge of this race, but then like Eckes out of nowhere.
Here's the contact on the 15. Keep an eye on him with Moffitt there at 25.
That's so sad for the 15 of Gray. What a great race he was having. Moffitt looked like got loose down in the corner and then nowhere for Gray to go.
Yeah, it's a tough break.
Eckes trying to find a way around that's going to bring him a little bit closer to Gilliland and give him a shot at his first career win, but Gilliland holding him off so far.
Vince, we had a lot of fun last week in Bristol. What'd you do on Saturday night? Because Stuart Friesen, he went to Fonda, New York and won a dirt race, and it paid $53,000, and they gave it to him in cash. I said, how does that work, Stuart? He said, I put it in the bank, Mike.
Right now, he's putting it in the bank. He has been the most calculated of the playoff guys tonight, and I'm very impressed with Friesen's effort, and he's just chipping away at it.
Carson Hocevar, another one of our championship hopefuls with a problem.
Massive vibration. Be ready down there, guys.
Man, he's probably got a loose wheel or something.
Yeah, and he's 10th. He's 18 years old. He's probably not had many loose wheels and knows exactly what it is, but he reacted. He's going to bring it to pit road.
Oh. And that's going to bring out the caution.
I don't know. He's off the track.
Caution is out.
Man, that's a blessing in disguise for the yellow to come out, and then he's going to head back out there.
Well,
hopefully he's able to cash in on.
That was a veteran move, wasn't it?
Did I say he was 18 years old? Let's see if we think that maybe he just lost control. Maybe. What do you think, Kurt?
I mean,
geared down to second gear and wheel hopped, or
I think he wheel hopped it, trying to get it slowed up for pit road. Right? Then the yellow comes out, and then I mean, does the spotter jump on the radio and say go back out, or did he make that move on his own? I love it.
It looked suspect.
Do you think
at
it's
best.
the rear? Or do you think it's a wheel? Right front. It's a right front.
There's Hocevar's finishes the last 5 races, and you see it has been very consistent. There's Brett Moffitt, who had a little contact earlier with Tanner Gray. Some smoke coming from the back of the Rackley roofing machine.
He's off the pace, lost some laps. Great run for the 25. Be interesting to see what these leaders do. I think, Jamie, how are you hearing something from the 52? What are they thinking?
I just wanted to go back to the conversation you guys were having about all the racing that Stuart Friesen's been doing this year. He told me earlier today he actually did 60 modified races so far. By the end of this 2021 season, they're going to do about 75 of them in total, so still a lot more to go. But the back-to-back-to-back truck races are what's really made the difference for him here in the early stages of the playoffs. He said it's where their communications developed. Everybody on the team is clicking on all cylinders. It's everything they've been able to do all season long, but they just haven't been able to put it together. But now that they have the consistent time together at the racetrack, they can do just that, Jamie.
Well, it was such a good run tonight for Carson Hocevar. Led 8 laps, and you saw the issue he had. It was a right front. He said, let's just change the right front. They said, no, we're going to change all 4. Let's make sure we have all good tires up. Try to cut their losses here. You saw Ross Chastain in the background there working in the pits, looking at the tire that just came off the truck. But one of those playoff drivers, guys, that looked to have a really smooth, clean night until right now. With 7 to go, he's on pit road.
Well, and you see the NASCAR official in front of Hocevar's truck with his hand up. They are holding him a lap because of that little maneuver.
Yeah,
entering pit road.
It was obvious he caused a caution, and NASCAR decided that they would penalize him a lap for causing the caution. You can see, watch his hands inside the truck. He gets to pit road at the last minute, says, this is going to cost me. I'm going to whip it around. And NASCAR looked at that and decided that he needed to be penalized for that. Now, there's things that have happened in playoff races lately that NASCAR has decided it's fine if you do it or not. But they decided in that case that he should be penalized.
Hey, I was going down the honest road that they made a mistake, or he made a mistake coming to pit road too hot. But now looking back on it, I see what you saw, Mikey. You saw the white gloves kind of tossing it to the right.
I'm thinking maybe he should wear black gloves from now on and not those white ones that were so easy to see the way his hands were moving on that wheel.
You know, that's the most helpless feeling as a race car driver. We've all been there, Kurt, when that NASCAR official's standing there with his hand saying, don't you go anywhere, and you've got 700 horsepower under your hood, and you say, well, I really want to, but I know better. I better set here. And it's helpless. It's just a helpless feeling.
And you're a playoff contender right now, and you're watching it all just kind of spiral downward.
Well, let's take a look at some of those that are running up toward the front with an opportunity maybe to stun some people here tonight. Grant Enfinger in that 9 truck. Running that truck half the season this year, splitting his time with the 98. You see, not playoff eligible because he missed the race at the Daytona Road Course, but it has been a terrific season for Grant, and he has given the 9 another good run tonight. The 19 back there as well, Derek Kraus with a good showing tonight inside the top 10, and right behind him, Austin Wayne Self running 9th.
Brett Holmes?
Yeah, the former ARCA champ, Brett Holmes, 10th.
And you see the damage there on Chase Purdy, the 23 truck from very early in the race. He's just outside the top 10. Tate Fogelman, I love this. Some guys having some great runs on the lead lap. Hocevar now a lap down, and there's 5 trucks that are a lap down. So he will try to be racing against Danny Bone in the 30 truck. Dylan Lupton to try to get himself in a position to, if the caution were to fall, get a free pass and try to get back in position to battle for a top 5 finish.
Coming to the choose, and there will be 5 to go when they cross the line with Todd Gilliland leading. You've got Christian Eckes up there. Gilliland has 1 career win. He won earlier this season at Coda on the road course in the rain. Eckes has never won before. Runner-up 3 times. Stuart Friesen, the first driver of the championship bunch that's up toward the front.
And you know what, Vince? Stuart Friesen will go for it. He's not thinking these guys aren't in the playoffs. He's thinking, I'm going to win another race. That's how he's wired. And you know what he's going to do tomorrow, Kurt? He's going to travel home and get somewhere up in the Northeast and race again. He's going to race a dirt race tomorrow night. That's just how he's wired. And you just watch. This 52 truck is going to do all he can to get to victory lane.
I like his moves all night tonight. I think he's just going to play it smooth for points. I really do.
You do?
I really do. I don't think he's going to gas it up for the W. I think he's all about the points right now.
I'm gonna say no. I think he just goes.
So do I. Just remember the big picture. We're plus 12, P3 right now.
Yeah, only 3 of our championship contenders in the top 22 right now, and that's really shuffled their playoff standings up there at the top of the screen.
You know, Kurt, it sounds like that his crew thinks, along with me, that he's just going to go for it. They're like, come on, man. We just got to be smart here. We got to just do our job and get these get this finish. Don't do anything to jeopardize where we're at.
I think it's going to be tough to beat Gilliland tonight. It's more about the big picture. That's what I would be thinking if I was freezing.
By the way, Johnny Sauter, the driver who did not pit when the top 15 pitted last time, Sauter dropped like a rock on that restart. He did come to pit road just now and pick up tires. So we'll see if those can help him here in these final 5 laps. Coming to green, when they take the green, there will be 4 laps remaining. Can Todd Gilliland finish the job, or will Christian Eckes score his first career win? Maybe Stuart Friesen gets it to victory lane.
Got to move up. Oh, he left the door open up top. Gilliland is going to get freight trained.
How about Austin Hill squeezing through on the inside? Eckes on the outside, 3 wide for the lead at Vegas.
Let's go 4 wide, guys. Let's do this.
May as well.
Eckes getting a push from his teammate Rhodes, and now Rhodes dives to the bottom. Crafton in the neon yellow up top. All 3 ThorSport trucks running 1, 2, 3.
What about Crafton coming for the party here at the end?
I mean, he just came out of nowhere, and he's going to clear for second place.
Crafton in second.
Eckes made the great move on that restart to claim the lead, and now he's in charge of this race. He is now trying to shake the draft as he cuts low and comes back up high. Love this.
Eckes still holding on to the lead with 3 to go. Crafton trying to get up and challenge.
Look at Friesen working the bottom, trying to get back in contention. Wasn't a great restart for Stewart, but he's battling hard down on the bottom.
2 laps left. Rhodes for second on Crafton, his teammate on the inside. That's Gilliland behind Crafton in 4th. Friesen right there as well. Rhodes takes second from Crafton.
Can they draft up and catch Christian Eckes? What a great job by this young racer.
All 3 at the front are ThorSport machines. Eckes on a part-time schedule has taken the white. There's 1 lap left. Christian Eckes.
Johnny Sauter's on those new tires, Vince. You talked about he went to pit road. Here he comes. It's a ThorSport party at the front.
1, 2, 3, 4 for ThorSport. Can Eckes hold off Rhodes? Then Rhodes, one of those in the championship hunt. Can he get the win tonight here at Vegas?
Throw her to the high side, buddy.
And the caution comes out with Eckes in front. And Christian Eckes will win because the white flag had already come out. And it will be Eckes getting his first career win.
I am stunned. That's amazing.
Very impressive. Wow. Did we think that was going to happen? Not 1 ounce did we think that was going to happen. Impressive.
1, 2, 3, 4 for ThorSport. For the first time in Truck Series history, the same team takes the top 4 spots.
Vince, I'm friends with Christian's dad, George, and I raced go-karts with Christian a little bit a few years back. A kid that just loves racing, and to see the success this young man is having, and all that George and his family's put into Christian's career, this is beautiful.
20-year-old from Greenville, New York, J. Rod Prince, who had been the truck chief on the 88, is the crew chief on this 98 truck, and it's his first year as crew chief. So a big win for J. Rod as well. And Eckes with his first career win, and what a celebration it'll be in the ThorSport camp tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That is amazing.
Well, I don't know what kind of odds you would have gotten on that tonight here in Vegas, but I hope you put a nickel on it.
I'm with you, Vince. Like, that was out of nowhere, and yet at the same time, it's like those trucks all came to the front right at the end, and they knew they had a plan.
You know what I love, Vince? He got heated up by Ben Rhodes, but Christian Eckes never bobbled, never wavered, and he drove that truck straight to victory lane. And man, Vegas and victory lane, that's got to feel great.
Jamie Little with the winner.
The second straight week in a row, we have a first-time winner, a rookie in the Truck Series. Christian, I know for a guy like yourself, running in the Truck Series and part-time nonetheless, how difficult is it to race in this series and finally to get it done?
You can look at my racing reference and see how bad it is and how tough it is. So, man, this is big. It's been a tough year. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. It's been a tough year since last November. Hopefully, I proved I can still do this.
What does it mean to you and this team, and knowing what you've been through on a different team this year, to prove that you still have it, like you said?
Yeah, I think so. Just huge thanks to Curb Records, Thor Sport, Duke and Rhonda. I'm speechless. Like I said, it's been a rough year. It's been a lot of